Twitchers.
Looks like you got a flashbang in your... Actually, no.
I do. I live with flashbangs.
No, it's not as bad as that first time when I think the camera was like... Your head was just in the center of all your windows, and then it was all just bright white.
Yeah.
What's going on, Ronan?
What's up, Ronan?
We're chocolateless today, this afternoon, whatever time it is. Pretty normal time for us, though, I think. Oh, new Prime loot. What do we got? Big Farm Mobile Harvest, League of Legends. Yikes. Yahtzee, World of Tanks, World of Warships, King of Avalon. I don't... Guess I don't need to claim any Prime gaming loot, huh?
Forgot to say I quit before I left.
Oh, hey, there you are.
You know.
I was just sitting there talking to myself about the Twitch loot drops, and then you didn't respond, and I was like, all right, cool. Don't want to talk about it? It's fine.
I'm not sure. What Twitch loot drop are you speaking of?
It was just a bunch of bad ones. I had 7 notifications, but they were for things like Big Farm Mobile Harvest, League of Legends, World of Tanks, Yahtzee, World of Warships, King of Avalon.
Red Dead stuff in there, I think.
Yeah, probably. These are just new things. There occasionally, Ronan, there are decent ones. Like when I was playing a decent amount of GTA Online, every once in a while it would be like, oh, you get the base model casino or penthouse or something. So you might save yourself a few $1 million in that game, which is a decent amount of time saved.
I know if you have PlayStation right now, you get $1 million a month.
Right.
For GTA Online.
And then I think, I feel like when I was playing Blackout, there was a few drops for like skins and stuff, or like when I was playing PUBG, you'd kind of get stuff, but it was usually like purple themed stuff, where if you were trying to play in any type of competitive scenario, that you probably didn't want to be bright purple streaking across the screen. But teach their own.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, like a man who just wants to get right into it.
I ate a bowl of sherbet already today.
I thought you were going to say sugar.
Well, pretty much the same thing.
You left a Fall Guys stream for this. Well, you know, that's your fault, because I would never do that.
No way.
The three of us actually just recorded a decent amount of footage of Fall Guys, so hopefully we'll have a video edited and put out at some point. Chocolate qualified, I think, 2 out of the 2 hours of gaming we
He
did.
said 2, but I only remember 1.
Like, legit, the very first round, he lost every single one except for 1, maybe 2.
Right.
I was like,
He's pretty good at it.
how is this possible? I remember, like, my first few days, like, the competition's gotten a little more stiff nowadays, but my first few
you've
days, I
also
was
seen
like,
the man free fall out of an airplane.
fair,
So
fair.
most people can figure that
Where are we
part out.
landing?
How about
Well, not
underneath
there.
the airplane.
Not out in the ocean.
Right. All right. Are we ready to do this merch promo?
Is it just going to be for Amazon.com
No.
slash gaming or something? Yeah, man. I think we're good. I'll start the recording. 3, 2, 1. Whenever you're ready.
What's up, guys? We got merch. Come check us out. Actually, just email Chocolate at cagpodcast@gmail.com because he didn't post any links for the merch site. So just pester him with emails. All right? Hit it, Risky.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 118 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host, Risky the Kid, and joining me this week is just one of my co-hosts. We got Moose this week.
What's up, dude?
What's going on? We are chocolate-less yet again.
Yep. A little less sweet this episode, but
He's
we'll do our best.
Taking a vacay.
No chocolate, but you still got Moose, so,
There you go.
And Risky is always, when you didn't show up that 1 week, I'm pretty sure that everybody unsubscribed. So
Yeah, unless I have a wedding going on, I'll probably be here
sweetness.
for the most time. All right, before we get into the show, we do have some new content up on YouTube. I uploaded my first hour in Battletoads this morning, so that's up on the YouTube channel.
Nice.
And then Chocolate also has a review of Liquid Sunshine. So those are over at youtube.com/crossatlanticgaming. Go over there, check them out. Yeah, leave a like, leave comments, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I think that's really all we got to cover.
Yep, I'm still in the brainstorming phase for my next video, so I'm not sure when it's going to drop.
When do we know when our next update of Madden Muscar is going to be?
Yeah, it'll
Madden
be
Muscar?
towards the end of this month. Probably the last Sunday I'll record the fireworks footage.
Oh,
because
boy.
They're doing it every Sunday night so it's pretty cool. We can check that out. I put in a bunch of bridges and ramps, and I've moved the villagers into a place, built a little neighborhood, stuff like that. If, Tom Nook would ever get off his butt and do something and I could get more than one project done a day.
Why would Tom Nook ever get off his butt when he can just sit there and just collect?
Absolutely.
That's all the man does.
But then the thing is, like, you earn all these bells and then you just sell them back to his kids. So it's kind of
There's nephews, aren't they?
racket. Kids, nephews, they're all related somehow.
All right, fair enough.
Might as well just call it Nook Island.
All right, cool. Another week in gaming. What have we been getting into? Man, we don't have a ton to talk about apparently, but Madden 21. What's going on in Madden 21? Is this a demo beta thing? Because the game's not out yet, is it?
Yeah, it is if you have EA access.
Okay, I guess it's that time of year.
Yeah, 10-hour trial I think dropped on Friday.
Okay, and you can kind of just run that straight into launch if you want, like play a couple hours a day or something.
I'm pretty much done with mine already. I started
Dang.
yesterday. And then, but if you have EA access, you have access to the game starting tomorrow, which is Tuesday, which will be today of the podcast.
Oh, so just in general, you get it early because of that.
3-day early access. So
yeah,
as soon as my trial runs out, I should have plenty of, I should just roll right into the early access.
Which is nice. Ronan in chat said that all their games get 10-hour trials before release, which is nice.
Right. Well, at least all the sports games.
I was going to say, because I don't think Fallen Order had one, because you probably could have got pretty close to beating that game in that time period. But
yeah, but FIFA and NHL.
All the sports games for
Madden,
sure.
Yeah.
And that's for someone like me who doesn't really want to play those types of games. Like for
Hmm.
FIFA, you could do the. Couldn't you play the story mode, whatever it was called?
Yeah, it's basically like a campaign. I forget what they call it in FIFA though.
The what? Oh my god, the journey.
Yeah, I
The
think it is the
journey.
journey.
So
Yep.
you could like if you were like me, you could just knock that out and then not have to buy the game. Perfect.
Right. And then I
Um.
think they called it like Last Shot Hero or something like that on Madden. And now they've made it to where
Oh, the
you're
long
that
shot.
long shot. There you go. I'm sorry.
Yep, I got you.
And they've made it to where you're just that guy now. So you start out in high school,
Oh, okay.
and it's a super dramatic narrative. Coach don't like me. I'm never gonna start. All that fun stuff.
Of course.
And rack up 70 points on every team you play against, and win a few national championships in a row. And coach might like you a little more.
And then you can go to the NFL, huh?
Right. So right now I chose to come back instead of leaving for my senior season. I chose to come back after the starting quarterback got hurt. I came in, won the game, and then as soon as I decided to come back, coach comes in and says, "You're not starting."
What?
So I guess I'm playing running back now.
Okay, cool. Did you choose
So
to come back for your second season because you miss NCAA football so much that you were just gonna try to play as much college ball as
no,
you
dude,
could?
I just wanted to make those big dogs some more money before I left.
All right. I
You
like it.
know, gotta line the coffers of all the rich guys at the college, right?
Yeah, I guess. um, do you have? Are there a lot of options for colleges to start?
There are more than there were last year, but I'd say there's
Okay,
probably 3 or 4 schools from each of the Power Five conferences.
word. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No Tennessee though. They're still lacking on that one. But who did I choose? Oh, I chose Nebraska because my mom's a Nebraska fan.
There
So
you go. Why not? That's cool. So what's going on differently in this game compared to like last year? Besides, it's a little prettier and the physics are a little
yeah,
bit better.
that's mainly it. They have daily challenges now, so they want you to play all the different game modes.
Okay, so
So they
it's
have
turning
like
into Madden Mobile.
yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, in Madden Mobile, like it syncs. There's synergy there.
What?
It's yeah, it's they tie in together.
How does
So
that
all your
work?
points that you accrue on Madden Mobile also roll over to your Madden game, vice versa.
I mean, if you're somebody like me who plays a decent amount of mobile stuff and you're into Madden, like that's
Yeah, I think
definitely a
it'll be
win-win.
more beneficial just for like the cards
If you're
and
doing like ultimate team
building
stuff.
the decks and all that dumb stuff that I don't like to spend time on.
Right. Like isn't that like the core of MUT though?
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah,
ultimate team?
Ultimate Team is basically like you can get to a certain point of just, playing all the challenges and getting your team to a certain aspect, but then at some point you have to do the deck building part of it. And like, you have to turn in so many category of this card, turn in 15 of these 85 golds to get a 90 red
Dude,
or,
that's literally Madden Mobile. I played last year's
it's the
version
worst.
for like a month maybe, and that was a majority of what that was. Besides, you could do the whole like stock market thing where people can you can buy and
Yep,
sell
you
your
can do
cards
the
that
same
way.
thing still. Yep, they still
And
have the free agent market or whatever they call it.
yeah, dude, that's like all I would do on Madden Mobile is you'd sit there and I think it was every 6 minutes or something, or no, it was every 5 minutes on a certain like on the 3 and the 8. And you would refresh, and that's when all the new cards would go up. So you'd like set your filters for like buy now, a 90 player, for X amount of money, and you would just be hitting the refresh button as fast as you could, hoping that you could click that button fast enough. Like it wasn't even a football game at a certain
Right.
point. That like a couple of years ago when I was playing it, it was just like a stock market game with
Yeah.
players and numbers, and I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life right now?
I'm pretty sure that's how kids still play this game. It's like, because I've watched a few videos last year when I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And guys will literally like try to predict what card is going to be worth a ton of money by what pack they're dropping next, and then they just start
And then
loading
you
up
just
and they buy all of those that they can in the free agency market, and then they just try to sell. You know what I mean?
Isn't that so
That's-
weird? It's two very different types of players. Like the people who just are really into the football part, and then the people who are
Right.
like, it's just a numbers game for the most part. Like I can make the best team by doing
that's
this on the market.
That's the best way without spending money to get the best
The best players.
packs.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. Right.
Because you basically just sell them all for coins, and like right now, the top tier pack that you can buy for coins is 50,000.
Is that a lot?
So That yeah, you get
Okay.
maybe I don't know if you're really good. I assume that you probably get a couple thousand per game, but I maybe get like 1,200.
Oh yeah, but even that's a
So
lot of playtime.
yeah, and it's really loaded front heavy to give you a bunch of coins as far as marking off objectives and doing all the easy stuff. They
Yeah,
give you 100 here, 500 here, all that stuff. But that's gonna run out soon, and I'm gonna be poor for coins, and then I'm gonna be done playing Ultimate Team.
I feel like that's how those games always are, though. Like they give you
Right?
the intro, just like rush of being able to open thing after thing after thing, and just getting
Yeah.
all of these cards and whatnot. And then a couple weeks in, you're like, well, I get to open a pack like once a week now or something if
Right.
I'm not just on the market.
Or you can always just put the old credit card down and buy some premium currency.
Yep.
No, I won't do that.
EA would love you to do that.
They sure
That's
would,
how they
but
make all their money. So,
I would get in big trouble for that. Like,
uh,
what, you spent real money on cards that you can't even hold? My wife wouldn't even understand what was going on.
it's like I can print some of the cards out on paper from the internet and show them to you, I guess?
Want me
Question
to put
mark.
them in a file folder?
I don't. What do you want from me?
So yeah, I don't. I try to stay away from microtransactions.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like most people try, but it's some people that it's just too hard, especially if you want to keep up in those type of games. Like if you want
Yeah,
to stay
like
competitive
chocolate.
and be like, yeah,
He said that he spent thousands of dollars in FIFA before.
which, yeah,
That's craziness,
that's probably pretty normal for a lot of people.
right?
Well, I mean, more normal than it should be, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Usually, what I'll do if I give him any extra money, I'll buy like the ultimate pack or whatever at the beginning.
okay, just like an intro base
Yeah.
pack that's probably going to
It's
be the
like
best
it's
deal
like
you ever
70 or
see.
80 bucks as opposed to 60.
That's like with that Marvel game on the phone that I always play. It's like the intro offers were so good back in the day, like when you were
Hmm.
just started, but that's how they get you in. And then like
Yeah,
nowadays
and
it's like, oh, $50 if you want to unlock a new character. And you're like,
right.
what?
And you would have shredded through all that currency anyways, not knowing what it was.
Yeah, when you're still trying to
Used
learn
it
it and
on
you're like,
like
don't
low
spend the
level crap.
diamonds or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, that's not the most efficient way to use those. And they're all wasted.
That's one thing I really do like about Minecraft Dungeons, just to go off on a tangent real quick. You can remove your enchantments from any gear or weapons. So you're
Uh,
not they're not locked in.
right. I think I did know that. It's not, it doesn't cost that much, does it, to actually do that?
No, I don't think it costs anything.
Oh, it does not cost anything. Okay.
No.
So yeah, that's nice.
Like when you shred the items for, whatever for the currency, it says the enchantments just automatically go back into your
It's just
bank.
okay, right? And you regain any currency that you put towards it.
No, you just sell it for whatever it's worth.
Oh, okay.
Just like
All right.
when you shred stuff in Destiny, same deal.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So, nothing else of note in Madden then besides they added some dailies. It might look a little
Dailies,
prettier.
there's some sort of street mode that I haven't looked at yet.
Hmm.
And they
Interesting.
said, let's see, they said running is more dynamic now, which it feels awesome.
Oh,
It
that's
feels
good.
super easy right now. I'm playing it on pro or all pro, and
Are
I'm
you
just
just
running away from fools.
trucking all the time with the hit
Trucking,
stick?
juking, they're just grabbing air, dude.
That there you go. When you're fast, you're fast.
That's right. And then defensive line, they've improved quite a bit. So the
The
moves
best
on there.
defensive position to play if you actually you're gonna
Oh
play
yeah, dude. I
defense.
just bull rush. Like whoever's playing offensive line against me has to have 6 or 7 concussions by the end of the game. Because I just put my face mask straight in the middle of his chest and push him backwards
Just
every single play.
head down, go to work.
That's right.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, Madden's the same but good.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, this we're just in the trial period right now, so
Right.
maybe you'll find some other things, or you can let us know what the street mode is like.
Right. And
Next
yeah,
episode or
last year I
whatever.
remember when it first came out, I was really digging a lot of the player cards they were dropping,
Okay,
and
yeah.
then they just became super hard to get, and that's when I fell off.
Yep. That's
So,
you really got to stick with it if you want to stay competitive or open your
yeah.
wallet, one or the
And
other.
I thought about, I've joined a Madden league before, and it is way too sweaty for me. Like
It's a,
they take their
yeah.
stuff too seriously, and they run one play over and over again, and I don't know
The
how to
cheater,
stop
whatever
it.
the cheater play is. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and it's just like ends up being like 54-14, and I'm just like, cool, dude, good game, see you later.
I've probably told this story before, because it's one of my only Madden stories. But it was Thanksgiving, and I was at Megan's cousin's house, and their son was like, "Hey, you want to play some Madden?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Like, I'm not great, but I'll still
Hmm.
try. And then I played him, and he was the Packers, and there was just this slant that he kept running over and over, and the dude was just wide open in the middle. Like, I don't know if I couldn't pick a coverage or if he was just open all the time, no matter what. But I was like,
Didn't matter.
man, I thought this was gonna be fun. This isn't very fun though, because I don't think I will accept your offer to play Madden again.
No, I will not play Madden again.
Just
Not.
literally, like, because you know how when you're playing like split screen or on the same screen or whatever,
Yeah.
it it masks your choice, so that
Right.
obviously you can't see the playbooks. But
Hmm.
it's like he would bring it up, and I would see the play as one of the options, and I was like, you don't even have to hide it. Like, I know exactly what you're gonna pick because you picked it the last 17 times, and now I'm losing 45-0. Not great, but uh,
Yep.
yeah,
That's Madden for you. It's supposed to be, a football sim game, but it's basically just find an exploit and use it to your advantage as much as possible.
yeah, it's I
Just
don't
like
know.
any video game, I guess. You know what I mean?
Right. I've just always been more into the like arcadey football games. I think it's because I don't know. I've just never been competitive. I don't know if it's because I've never put time into it or what. But
There's just a lot to it. You gotta just in the base of it, you gotta know what defenses
what
you're
type of
looking
play?
at.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely
Like
true.
back in the day, probably like it was probably Xbox 360 days. I would be able to know what play somebody was running just by the formation they came out in,
Yeah, and
and then would be able to audible to stop that play.
right, and that's the type like when you were talking about getting into an ultra competitive sweaty league, like
Right.
those are the type of people you're probably
Yeah.
gonna be playing.
And that's what they're always like. Oh, spent like 6 hours labbing today, and it's like just like in practice mode. Why would you do
Labbing.
that?
Don't you have anything to do? Do you need
Right.
children? I've got three.
There's literally like hundreds, thousands of games to play. You don't have to spend 6 hours at practice. The pros don't even do that.
Right when your practice time in Madden becomes more than people who are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to play Madden,
Yeah.
putting in more work.
So unless you want to change the name of this podcast, we should move on.
Yeah, well, hey, we only had two games to talk about, so I figured
Okay.
we'd draw out the Madden talk as long as we could.
Fair enough. What did you play this week?
So I dove into some Battletoads.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunate story. The three of us, me, you, and
Right.
Chocolate, we're gonna try to play Battletoads and put out some type of content for that, but you can't get into an online game all on the same screen right now, or something,
No, there's
or
no
there's just no
online
online
co-op.
at
Period.
all.
It's
Okay,
all couch. It's only couch co-op.
right. So we were like, oh, this will be a great game. There's three of us. There's three toads to choose from, and then it was like, oh, you can't unless you guys are all gonna fly to New York, since I am the center point.
Right.
But that's tough. That's tough for 1 half-hour video of Battletoads. So
Especially in this gaming era. You know.
exactly.
Especially with everybody stuck at their house at this point. It's not like you can invite your friend. Well, I guess you can. Pretty much everybody in
You
America
could.
doesn't care about the COVID anymore.
No, because
So
it's gone, dude. Remember? It's not a thing anymore.
apparently,
Um, yeah, but either way, I got to check it out this past weekend. When you're playing by yourself, what ends up happening is that you have the three toads. They all play a little bit differently. Like Pimple is the big like brawler, so he's slower.
that's like the favorite from what I've heard so far.
Yeah, he's slower, but he hits like a truck, which is
Okay.
awesome. And then the other two are just a little more nimble, I would say.
Mhm.
But what happens is you can on the D-pad you can switch to whatever toad you want as long as they're alive. So you can kind of swap out depending on the scenario, if you need to switch it up at all. And then if you don't take advantage of that, and like say you're using Pimple and then he dies, it'll bring in Rash, or it'll bring in whoever's next. So you kind of
Oh,
have
gotcha.
one after the other. It's like having lives, but
Uh-huh.
as soon as somebody gets knocked out, there's a 20-second timer on them. So the only way you're really gonna lose this game is if you
You lose all
manage.
three characters in 60 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 40 seconds.
Or 40, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, as long as you're not, I don't want to say that bad because there might be people out there that are at that level, but it's if you compare it to old Battletoads and how brutally hard that was, where you had X amount of lives and then you start over from the beginning. It's just a way easier game, way more accessible. There's actually difficulty levels as well. So there's 3 different ones. I just went with the standard, middle, and it's been a lot of fun. Not super challenging. I do think it would be way more fun with 3 people playing. So that's kind of a miss, in my opinion. Like,
Are you for the eye roll humor or no?
okay, so I am 100% because as I was playing it, everything's voice acted, which I think is awesome. Because so many games like this, you got little dialogue, you can't get a lot of like emotion or just even like the personalities out of the certain characters. Like you don't get that when you're just reading text generally. But with this, you kind of just get a flavor of each of them, and as like the cutscenes were rolling or certain parts in the levels, they might start talking. It totally felt like Saturday morning cartoons to me, or like Sunday morning cartoons,
nice.
like or maybe like what was the thing on Cartoon Network, the later Adult Swim or whatever.
Yep.
It's just I was getting like those kind of vibes the whole time I was playing, and it is stupid humor for sure, but that's not lost on me. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
So what I said during my first hour is like, if this was like a half-hour cartoon every week, like I would totally get in on this because I'm really enjoying the 3, like their banter and stuff, even if it's cringy sometimes.
I want to say there was rumblings or something of that.
Dude, I would definitely watch a Battletoads like Netflix. I'd binge right through that thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really good, and I love the way that it's animated as well, because that's like a mixture of their back and forth and the way that it's animated. That's what gives me like the strong Cartoon Network vibes. So I'm completely digging all of that. And then as far as it feels like your standard beat 'em up, I would say, side-scrolling beat 'em up. One thing that differs, at least if my memory serves correct, the one thing that's kind of different is that there are like combo moves, and there's you have like your standard attack. If you hit Y, it's like an uppercut that'll kind of knock everybody upwards, and then also if you hit X and B at the same time, it'll do like an area of effect like clear. So if you're getting like overwhelmed, it'll just push everybody back. And then you also have things, you have your tongue, which in the first game I feel like was only used to pick up flies on the side of the screen to like help your health. But here it's used to pick up flies because those will give you health. But also you can pull enemies towards you with it. You can also spit on enemies, and that like holds them in place. It's kind of like a little glue trap. So if you're getting overwhelmed, you can kind of spit on one guy over there, and it'll just lock him there until you can go deal with him. And then there's also a dash. And the game's just like not even close to what the old game is like, and I'm actually really okay with it because I was getting kind of nostalgic and excited for this because I also hardly watched anything leading up to this.
I'm pretty blind to it. I need to download it.
But yeah, so like I can distinctly remember like the first couple levels of the NES version of Battletoads, and it's completely different, and I think that's awesome. They had the if you remember way back when you were on like the speeder bikes, do you remember that at all? And you had you had like 3 lanes that you could go like up and down as you were cruising through here. So in this one, they kind of flip that around 90 degrees, so you're behind the speeder bikes, and then your obstacles are coming at you, kind of like an endless runner. And you have RB, LB to kind of shift left and right, or you can just use your analog stick. So it's all kind of different in that area. In that game, I think you were inside of a animal or something. You were like inside of a giant bird, so there's like weird guts and intestines and stuff in the original game, but this one you're just kind of like going down the freeway through like different areas. So it's just completely different, and I think that if you're gonna do a remake, this is probably the way to do it, where it doesn't feel like, yes, it's Battletoads, but it's not like a carbon copy with like a prettier version of it.
Right. It's not a remaster. It's a complete remake.
Yeah,
Is that right?
exactly.
Or is it the other way around?
No, yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
Remaster is just prettier.
Yeah.
Turn up, drag and drop it into the higher pixel count. That's definitely how that works, right?
I think so.
Um,
So yeah, it's cool. I definitely am gonna download it. Ronan in chat says he loved it. I guess he's already finished the game, and he said that his 4-year-old loves playing it with him. So if you can turn down that difficulty, are there sliders for each player, or
no,
I guess
I
you
don't
would
think
know,
so.
right?
I
Because
think
you've only played it one player.
yeah, because you start on like the difficulty page and then it
Okay.
goes to the character selection. So I don't.
Because yeah, if you could set it up on easy mode for them to play and just smash buttons and then make it a little more difficult for yourself,
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
That would, but I'm assuming you're locked into like easy mode across the board if you do select
I'm
it.
good. Dude, I'm good at playing all games on easy mode. I'm there for the experience at this point.
I'm right there with you. Yeah. Just be there for the Saturday morning cartoon part of it, because
Yeah, exactly.
it's really
Oh,
good.
and I did look that up while we were talking. It looks like they tried to come out with a cartoon in 2018. They had a pilot, but I haven't found anything since that.
I mean, it
So,
seems like it could work 100%.
yeah,
And
maybe it'll get picked up with, the new resurgence.
yeah, especially with Netflix doing all sorts of video game stuff. Why not?
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely give it a look. It's
Okay.
it feels good to play. It looks good. It's fun. Yeah, man. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. If you're into these type of like 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up games, it's up there. It's real good.
I meant to download it and play it this weekend, but my wife took me away and we went to Denver to where we got married for the weekend. So
Forced you to go spend your
yeah,
anniversary
forced me to go play golf and have
Oh,
other people cook for us, and you
and
know
force feed you champagne and drinks. I
all
saw
that
the
fun stuff.
pictures.
Yeah, that was dinner Thursday night. It was quite a weekend.
Well, hey, happy anniversary.
I appreciate that.
What is
9 years and still going strong.
9? You said?
Yeah.
Woo, boy.
So
Big
next
ones.
year could be expensive.
What's 10? Is it like
I
diamonds or
don't even know,
steel
dude.
or a block of wood or something?
I gotta buy her something awesome for putting up with me for this long.
There you go. Get her an Xbox.
She would love that. That would make like 4 in our house. She'd be like, wait, you
Dude.
have 2, you're getting a new one, and you bought me one. Okay, dude.
Thanks, I guess. But yeah, Battletoads is good. Madden's cool. Anything in your standard fare that you need to update us on or talk about?
Other than chocolate is really bad at Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see that video soon.
I timestamped as much as I could. I think he started drinking like maybe an
Way-
hour or two before us, and then
Yeah.
by the end of it, I think he disappeared for like 15 minutes, and we were like, "Do you legit like pass out in his chair or something?" And then he just came back, and was like, "Rah rah 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 rah."
Who knows what he was
I was like,
doing.
"What are you doing? I need to go to bed."
Yeah,
How
the
late is it
bear
where
got a
you
little
are?
Toasty on Friday night.
Yeah,
Telling
wife's
us
out
about
of
all the money
town.
he was trying to spend while his wife was out of town.
That's always when when he tries to set up game dates with us because he knows they don't start till like midnight his time. That's when you
Right.
know Bear's trying to have a good time. He's just like, well, his wife and kids must be out of town, or at least the wife must be out of town. The kids are just hopefully sleeping.
They're in their cages. He's doing dadding, right?
Yeah, they just leave them a head of lettuce, and is that how it works?
Nah, dude.
I'll
Fruit
figure it out.
snacks and those applesauce pouches are lifesavers.
Okay, there you go. I will
Just throw those in their general direction, and it'll leave you alone for at least 5 minutes.
drop them through the top of the cage, walk away. Oh, the amount of time I spend talking about putting children in cages.
We really don't have any cages for our kids as much as I'd like to.
Good. All right, next up, before we get out of here, or before we get out of the gaming section, Game Pass Roulette. I think that's next episode, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
All right, Game Pass Roulette is next episode. So we had a small hiccup. I mean, I guess it's not a huge hiccup, but it turns
You don't
out.
know how the scoring works?
Okay, so yeah, I think Sir Moxlot had to kind of explain this to me because I was real confused because I went to this level 1.2, which is what we're playing, so it's just the second level of the entire game, And I posted a score and a video of my guy just starting the level, standing on the back of his truck, not doing anything, and then the final score was like 26,000, and I was like, something's broken. I didn't do anything. This is a bad score. What? Somebody tell me what's going on. Apparently, which I probably knew this when I played it back in the day, but your cumulative score is used to buy things or upgrades or something like that. Hopefully, we'll have more info on this next episode when we go to talk about it in full. But what this means is that when you end, you get 3 different scores apparently, and you need to take a video of it because it is real damn hard to take a screenshot of the score that you need. So yeah, if you're trying to be a part of this right now, we might have to do 2 challenge months in a row because I feel like we kind
I think we're gonna have to do pinball or something next month.
Yeah, we screwed this up pretty bad.
We need to stop letting the bear choose the games because we know he's not gonna put any effort into it. Other than, how about Cluster Truck? That sounds like Cluster. Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll talk about it next episode, but we'll just roll the prize into next month, which means it will be a $20 pot. So we will continue to up that. But the scoring just seemed like it was
something's
weird,
right.
And I don't like having to make people try to submit videos, just because that's a huge pain. You should just be able to take a screenshot of a score or take a picture with your phone or something, and it's not that. So not great. We'll still talk about it next week. But yeah, just keep playing, and if you do want to post a video, you can do so. But next month we'll end up doing, or next episode we'll just announce another challenge month. I think that's a good idea. Agreed. 2 out of 3 of us are here, so we'll say yes.
Majority win.
Majority rules. Sorry, Chocolate. So we'll let you guys know next week after we do some research and figure out a good game and a good level to dive into this. But yeah, we're playing Cluster Truck. So if you still have comments or any of that stuff for the game, not even high scores or any of that, you can hit us up on Twitter at CAG Podcast, or if you're in Discord, we have a Game Pass Roulette channel. So just drop it there. But yeah, all right, that's Game Pass Roulette. Next, let's get into some news. Right, Moose, what is going on in the news this week?
Well, let's start out with DC Fandom. It was
boy,
domeless this year because nobody went anywhere.
Fair.
But there was a bunch of movie trailers, information as far as the DC universe goes. But for us, we got the game trailer and some gameplay of Gotham Knights. Batman Gotham Knights, which there's not really a Batman in it that I am aware of, so I think it should just be called Gotham Knights. But this game looks awesome. So you can play as Batgirl, Nightwing, or Dick Grayson, who was the first Robin, Red Hood, who is Jason Todd, and then Robin, who is Tim Drake. So those are the 4 characters that you can play as, and they look they couldn't be any more different from each other.
So, that's awesome. And there's no Batman, huh?
Not that I have seen.
Batman's friends.
I think Batman might be dead.
All right. I'm listening, or I need to play some more Batman games.
Right? Because, I didn't see anything about Batman other than he was gone, and now there's these 4 taking over his role.
They should have just called it the Bat Buddies.
Right? Bat Buddies. I think
that's pretty close to being...
Gotham Knights works way better.
Yeah, okay. Bat Buddies is not great.
No, I don't think so. You can go back to the drawing board on that one.
My bad.
So yeah, that game looks awesome. And then the other game that they showed us was Suicide Squad, Justice League. What is it?
Kill the Justice League.
Kill the Justice League. So apparently the Justice League, including Superman, have gone rogue. And now we have been recruited by the government to stop them. If everybody knows the Suicide Squad story, it's take the bad guys out of prison, give them a deal, and put the the old collar on them in case they get out of line. You blow their heads off.
Yep. I mean, that's how it worked in
So
the movies. So I'm assuming
right.
that's also how it works in the comics and everywhere else.
Yep. So yeah, this game looks pretty awesome. It looks like a big open world um, games as a service type game. Did you watch the trailer at all?
I didn't. But
Okay.
Ronan in chat says he was getting some Sunset Overdrive vibes, which I
Okay.
find interesting.
Yeah, from what I thought, it doesn't look like it's like a narrative story. It looks like something they might be
More games as
um,
servicey.
supporting, yeah, for the future. Maybe chat can tell us. But yeah, both of these games look awesome.
Yeah, I'll have
Great.
to actually watch that stuff. I just was not near a computer, or I mean, I always have my phone on me, but just spent a lot of time with family this weekend. I mean, as
Yeah.
did you, but you still found the time. I'm the worst. Sorry.
Well, you get married and the gaming time goes away whether you like it
Everything's
or
falling apart.
not. So yeah, that's pretty much all the gaming news I believe from DC Fandom. But
I did
those,
watch the trailer for the new Batman movie, at least.
oh
Not that
yeah,
that's gaming
the
related,
one
but
with the vampire as the bat.
yes, which makes so much sense. I don't know. I actually that was better than I thought. I know it was just like a snippet, but that was better than I thought it was going to be. Like him actually
Right.
voicing it and stuff, and like the one dude he knocked down and I'm pretty sure punched to death. I was like, oh yeah, we're going dark and gritty Batman, and I was okay with that.
And they're reloading Suicide Squad too, like 3 years later.
Right.
But it's got like Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, John Cena, Viola Davis. Let's see,
That's for
Steve.
the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, they have like a list of like
Damn.
30 characters, dude.
Yeah, that's some big names.
Right? So I don't know. DC's trying to compete with Marvel. I don't know if they're gonna be able to, but hopefully this is all good stuff and not complete trash like they've been making.
I feel like you gotta be you gotta learn eventually, right? Like you gotta
Hopefully.
take all the negative criticism and do something with it and make it something positive. Hopefully,
Hey, dude, the Sonic movie turned out great.
there you go.
So, there's hopes that, you know, the Batman can be revived.
I just wonder. I just hope I don't have to see Jared Leto Joker again. I was not a fan.
He's not on the cast list, I believe.
Just ugh, not my style.
I don't think Joker is involved in
Okay,
this movie at
I
all.
didn't mind the first Suicide Squad movie. Like it wasn't my favorite movie. It might
Hmm.
be one of. I might have liked it more than a lot of DC stuff actually, but that Jared Leto Joker, not for me. Not even
Not
close.
great, huh?
Ugh. Nope.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
let's move on to some other news.
All
Got
right.
a delay for you. So,
Boo.
CD Projekt Red came out last week and made an official blog announcement, and basically just copy and pasted the Rick Astley song
Oh
"Never
my
Gonna
god,
Give You Up."
dude, I thought that was so funny.
It
Like as
was
soon
so
as you
messed up.
see a big post like that, you're
Right.
just like, oh no, again, because this would have been like the indefinite delay, and like, well, we'll talk about it next year or something, and then you start to read it, and you're just like, son of a.
Right. That was pretty good though.
It's
But there
hilarious.
was an actual delay announcement for any PlayStation fans that were looking forward to this for the PS5 launch. Deathloop has now been pushed back to Q2 of
Oh, that
2021.
sucks.
Yeah.
That
So
actually
basically,
looked
they're
good because
blaming it on COVID,
that's the one
essentially.
made by Arcane, right?
Yes.
The people that did Dishonored and those games. And that's just like the best looking roguelike you've ever played in your life is what I think I was calling it. It was, man, that sucks because that game actually looks really good.
Right. Well, you just have to wait till next, spring to summer.
I guess that's fine. There'll be other things to play. Always are.
Maybe.
Well,
Everything seems to be
we'll see.
right.
We shall see.
Yeah, what's up next?
Some
We got a Gamescom this week.
weird.
Yeah, it's all going to be online as usual.
Makes sense.
Opening night live is going to be, I believe these are Eastern times, but I'm not sure. So double check your local listings.
This is the Jeff Keighley stuff, right?
Yes.
The opening night.
Opening night live will be with Jeff Keighley. This is when all the devs drop new trailers, all that stuff. It'll be from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I believe that's Eastern time
Okay.
on the 27th, which is in 2 days from the podcast.
I mean, so far I've been impressed with every digital conference that's happened for the most part. Like everybody's kind of getting over some of
Hmm.
those bumps with like I remember the first Nintendo Treehouse thing. It's like they were super delayed and like talking over each other and stuff, but
Right.
you don't see that a ton, I feel like. And the people like Devolver who do their whole thing, they shoot it before and then they just release it instead of trying to do it
Right.
live.
Yeah.
To me that works way better and I'm
Yeah.
completely okay with that. Like I don't know. So I don't know. I'm excited for this. We should get a lot of good announcements. I'm assuming
Right.
Gamescom usually, well, I don't know. Gamescom kind of seems like it's hit or miss as far as announcements go. But being
Yeah.
this close to two new consoles coming out
You
at
would
the end of the
think,
year,
right?
I'm thinking something. Maybe we'll
So
get
I
a.
would say, yeah, if you want to catch anything, I would catch opening night live, and then the rest of it's just kind of like panel discussions, retro gaming stuff.
Okay, so if you're
Um,
gonna get any big announcements, it's probably gonna be in that first, the opening night thing. That's like 2 hours
Correct.
long or something,
Yeah.
right? You
And
said.
then they have an IGN showcase one, I think, on the Friday, and then there's the award show on Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
But everything else that's in there is just kind of panel stuff, retro gaming, finishing retro gaming. It's basically just going deep dives on different stuff.
Do you think either Sony or Microsoft will use this platform as a time to release uh, price or release date for their consoles?
Somebody's gonna have to jump here soon because they're both running out of time.
Right.
Supposedly,
The
what,
runway's
November
getting
6th
short.
is Xbox's date, no matter what.
Is what date did you say?
November 6th. That's what date was on. Well, somebody did some creative math, and the warranty on the Xbox Series X controller was good until November 7th, 2021. And usually everything has a
What?
1 year manufacturer's warranty on it, so that
Okay.
would be 1 year from November 6th, 2020.
Hey, that math checks out. I don't know
Right?
if that theory checks out, but that math checks out. So
Hey, that's that's
we'll
that's all
go
I
with
know
it.
from the rumor mill
Yeah.
is. And that was printed on the warranty information on the instructions of that controller.
Okay. Cool.
So it's got to be around that date.
Yeah, I'd like to see one of them step up and just finally,
Right.
this is
They,
when and this is how much.
it's literally down to like, weeks, if not months at this point.
It also kind of sucks because like the longer they wait, the harder it is for some people that like can't just drop the money, like the people that
Right.
actually have to budget for this thing and knowing that every month that goes by, like your amount of time, like if you're smart about it, you're probably budgeting like 10 months out or something anyways,
Right.
like $50 a week, whatever, or $50 a month. But yeah, for the people that, I don't know, it's kind of like, wow, $600 and it's out in a month. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
I have
then
to buy a
think about,
PlayStation 2.
the supply chain on the other end. There's nobody has actually come out with an official leak that says we have a box of these and they're not supposed to be open until this date, but they're completely screwing over all the retailers by not, letting them put out their pre-sales, not letting people, get their consoles accounted for. And I think there's just going to be a giant shortage, and that's going to jack up the prices of everything this
Well,
this holiday season.
funny enough, speaking of the retailers, Ronan in chat just said that the bigger clue is that all the retailers got new Xbox stuff in their stores that say do not open until
Right.
November 6th.
Exactly.
So
So I knew there had to be boxes like that floating around somewhere.
somewhere, right? Huh.
So I know that controller came out of Chicago, but I don't know how it fell off a truck or whatever.
Right. Interesting.
So yeah, hurry up and just let us know how much they cost, because
Yeah, right.
we're gonna give you our money.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
So this will excite you maybe. Fall Guys is coming to mobile next year
Okay.
in China.
You're a real jerk.
That's why I didn't put a link on that one, even though you didn't look at any of the links anyways.
I didn't. So I guess I deserve that.
Yeah. So yeah, Fall Guys, if you're Chinese, look forward to that.
If you live in China.
Don't worry about communism or oppression or anything. Fall Guys is coming.
I wonder if that says anything about potential crossplay. Like the game
Gotta
is
be,
perfectly
right?
suitable for crossplay in my opinion. Like
It'd be a perfect like party night game if you could just get like,
everybody play wherever you can. Eh,
Right, and be able to have 12 or 16 people link up into the same party and
Right.
kind of like you do with Jackbox, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It
be
just
able to broadcast it on a central TV or
it's also a game that I think like easily be well, maybe not to be competitive. I was gonna say it could easily be on a phone and be easy to play, but some of
yeah,
that is might be tough. But the amount of controllers you can like sync to phones and stuff now, anyways. Like,
right. Well, people play Fortnite on their phones, but they don't do it professionally.
do they play Fortnite on their phones anymore, Moose?
Yes, they do until the update comes up, actually, because Fortnite is making an in-game event right now. It's like play with your friends while you still can. Is that basically the event that they're running?
Oh my god.
So that was a good segue. Let's talk about Apple
Got you.
versus Epic. Oh man. So remember my concerns last week about Apple shutting down the entire Unreal Engine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's a
about
real thing. They're gonna do that.
all the games that use the
Yep.
Unreal Engine?
hmm
I don't know. Like, okay.
Forza, I don't know. Probably a third of the games that are on.
That's what
A
I don't
lot of
understand. Like, that seems like it had to be so many games.
oh, it's a pissing match at this point.
It's just like until somebody, it's just they're playing chicken.
Right, until somebody makes a ruling that you can or cannot do this, it's gonna keep going. So
Whatever.
it's
Just a pissing contest.
yeah, it's getting uglier by the day. So
It just
it
and
seems like every day you wake up and one of the two has done something to put
just
fuel on the
take
fire.
right. And like the only people this is hurting, I mean, financially, obviously, it's probably gonna affect Epic, but you're just hurting your consumers, like
Right.
Apple and Epic. Like,
Yeah, and Ronan also in chat just said Microsoft just filed a statement in support of Epic in their case. So,
right.
they get enough of the big guys behind them. Apple's going to have to take that garden wall down at some point. They have a
Ugh.
location in the Fortnite map now called the Walled Garden. And it's literally the new complex that they built
Uh,
in Palo Alto. That's what it looks like.
it just
It's a
mimics
big
that.
donut-shaped building.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So they're just trolling. They're
Yeah,
like, come at me, bro.
100%. Because they can, because they're Fortnite.
Yeah. And I don't
Apple's
know
not
who
going to be
who
putting
wins
out
this one.
ads like hating on Epic or anything weird like that. But Epic can do that because they have Fortnite as a platform. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's the update this week. Is if you have anything that's on the Unreal Engine on iOS, it may not be there come the 28th, I believe, is the deadline they gave Epic to change their terms.
that's what I saw. I think it was my buddy Tyler who was talking about it. Was saying that iPhones that have Fortnite downloaded on them right now are probably going for a whole bunch of money.
Dude, they're going for thousands of
Like,
dollars.
I was like,
But it
Tyler,
doesn't matter because the season or chapter 3 or whatever it is that's coming out in a few days
that's
is
just
gonna
gonna
wreck all that anyways because they're
stop
not
it
gonna
all,
be able
right?
to
Yeah.
update it. Yeah. And that's why they're doing this in-game event that's like play with your friends while you still can type
Right.
deal.
Man, we should have loaded all of our demo phones up with Fortnite and just sold those quick. Got rid of them.
Right? I don't know what happened to all the demos.
That was like,
Somebody came in and took them.
do you remember when, what was it? Flappy Bird was a
hmm
game on mobile
Yeah,
way
and it
back
got
when,
shut down.
and then it got shut down, and people were selling phones with Flappy Bird on them for like $5,000.
Yeah, and that's such a stupid game too.
Absurd, dude. But it's such a stupid game. But do you remember how big that was for being a mobile game? Like at
Oh
a
yeah.
point, like it's
And it was what Nintendo shut them down because they used like the same like
the same
green
pipes.
tubes or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was something like that. Just
so
oh,
stupid.
ridiculous.
So,
Well, hopefully they figure their stuff out at some point here.
it's gonna a federal judge is gonna figure it out. I promise you.
Yeah, fun.
Just win. So, up next, our boy finally got a win in Fall Guys. Not me. I'm still winless. But Tim the Tatman, after I think somewhere over 200 rounds,
Dude,
something like
at
that,
least I would say.
he finally got a win, and it got so bad to where Fall Guys official Twitter was trolling him not daily but hourly.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was it was ridiculous. Like the whole world was behind Tim the Tatman. He like apparently he crashed their servers at one point because so many people were watching him play it.
Well, that's what I was talking to Shopa about this. I was like, this could potentially have been like the biggest publicity stunt in the history of the world. Like if he was just, I'm not saying this is what was happening, but
Right.
tinfoil hats, like he
Scratch
could
my
have been
back, I'll scratch your type deal.
well, yeah, and he could have been like easily throwing these games, like if he was getting close, because the amount of hype that was starting to surround this whole Tim can't get a win thing,
Right.
it was kind of like, it's the most genius. Like you're bad at a game, and you're making the most money you've ever made. Like his subscriber count went through the roof, and
Oh, then when he finally got that win, he said he got like 4,000 subs, like within
on
that
top
first
of that,
5 minutes.
but
Yeah.
what you're creating is this weird hype of people wanting to be there when it finally happens. So you have like his viewer counts just skyrocketing as he plays this game that he can't get a win at.
Yeah.
And
I showed my daughter one of the videos last week, and now anytime Tim's face pops up on any of the tiles on YouTube, she's like, "Let's watch Tatman, Dad."
that's hilarious. He's so fun to watch though.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
He punches his penguin
The
Kevin
little
across
penguin.
the room.
So many good memes on Twitter of that poor
Yeah.
penguin talking like, "Please, not again."
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But
I'll watch him over Dr. Disrespect any day, because he's like, he's self-deprecating. He's not like, I'm the coolest guy in the world and all my stuff's the coolest. And
Yeah, I hear that. They're two very different types of entertainers for sure.
but they stream together.
Also true.
They all do. So we just got to get in that group.
Good luck. Think
So,
that opportunity has passed us up.
Yeah. Up next, did you see the trailer to show you the trailer for Black Ops Cold War?
Sure didn't. Tell me about it.
Well, there is a trailer, but it didn't show you anything. It just says watch next week when we show you the trailer. So
Fun.
they are
This-
just trying to, get this hype train going on this game.
So I wish I knew more about like the stuff leading up to this that was happening in Warzone, where they were like sending out
Right, it's gonna be
coordinates and stuff.
yeah, that's where the trailer is gonna be.
Is inside the game.
Yes, it's in Warzone. So
So some weird Fortnite stuff going on there.
yeah, so there's times on Wednesday, tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern. This is when this is gonna drop in the Warzone.
So where do you watch it inside of the game?
Let's see.
Like on a little monitor in a bunker or something? Dan Pod's in chat. He can probably definitely tell us.
Yeah,
Or
it
Ronan.
basically just
Both of
says
them.
what exactly the reveal is remains to be seen, but it's possible that we'll see a gameplay trailer, because like lately when you've been playing the game, sometimes you'll just drive and all of a sudden like your screen will just glitch out and it'll like show some Russian writing or something, and you'll just keep driving. So maybe it'll just interrupt everybody's screen type of
Oh, like incoming message, and it'll kind of freeze
like
everybody in
emergency
place.
broadcast type deal.
That's true. That could be.
That's probably how it's coming in.
That's one way to do it, where it just pauses the game for a minute and everybody has it. I know, like in Fortnite, you'd have to go to like Risky Reels and check their like drive-in theater screen, and like that's where the
Yeah.
trailers would be. So I didn't know if there was going to be one centralized spot or something like that.
No, basically just jump into Warzone at 10:30 Pacific, 7:30 Bear time.
Yeah, well, what a
Oh, no, actually,
perfect
6:30
time
Bear
when
time.
all of America is at work.
Right.
What?
Well, everybody's working from home watching YouTube anyways.
Yeah, fair.
So that's everything. Like, dude, there's basketball and hockey playoffs on during the day right now. So
Isn't that weird?
it feels a
Get a
little weird.
notification on my phone, and I'm like on my lunch break at work. It's like
Yeah.
10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I
time
was
is it?
watching the Bucks play against the Magic earlier today at like 11:30 in the morning.
So weird.
So yeah, different times, different times.
Yep.
And the last thing I got, did you watch the Indie World Showcase at all?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I got some good news for you.
Tell me.
Hades is coming to the Switch
Oh,
sometime
yeah.
this fall, and it's going to be cross-save.
What?
Yeah,
Like,
buddy.
I can take my Steam save and then play it on my Switch. I love buying games more than
Yeah.
once. So,
Exactly. So especially
Um,
when they're only like $20.
yeah, and this was definitely a game when I started playing it on PC. It would have been a game where I was like, oh man, I wish I could just play this on my Switch.
Right.
Since that's what I say about every game. It's like
That's
this.
it. Here we go, Rocker. It's an isometric angle roguelite. I don't think it's a Metroidvania though.
I don't think there's any Metroidvania-y stuff. But yeah, for people that didn't get a chance to play this on Steam at all, this game's fantastic. And this was,
Yeah.
I played this a bunch when it first came out. Since then, I'm pretty sure they've added a bunch of content as well because it's been like
We played it in
in
preview.
beta or preview,
Yeah, exactly.
whatever it is. So
So the official game release hadn't even been dropped yet.
yeah, so definitely check that one out.
Yeah,
Switch is
these
perfect
guys,
for that.
Supergiant, they made Transistor and Bastion, so you know that the music and the voiceover work's going to be on point. If nothing
Yeah.
else. But I know everything else is on point too because we played it. So
Yep.
that was the highlight for me in the whole um, deal. There's a garden story game that kind of looks like Animal Crossing with fruit.
Okay. Hey, that sounds all right.
Yeah, Grindstone's coming to the Switch. Oh, there's going to be a co-op in Untitled Goose Game. So,
Weird. Yeah, I mean is that weird? Did I lose Moose? This is weird. And he's gone, folks. That's what happens when the show is live. Sometimes Moose just gets frozen, and then he leaves your recording thing, and then I'm just here pointing towards him as he slowly disappears. Bye. Oh, he's back. He was definitely just swearing at his computer. I see you, Moose. I need you to rejoin our audio channel, though. Come back. Come back, friend. Oh, wait, here he comes.
Here he is.
Hey, all
I
right.
don't know what happened, but
I
I'm back.
don't have chocolate here making timestamps. 55 minutes.
It's fine. Just leave it in.
Just leave me talking to myself for a couple minutes. That's fine.
Yeah, it gives a character.
All right. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Untitled Goose Game. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
co-op.
And I was like,
then-
this is weird. Does it need co-op? And then you were gone.
Yeah, I don't think it does. You can be a pain in the ass goose by yourself.
Right?
But yeah, now you can do it with a friend.
All right.
So you can both knock the little boy down and honk at him while he cries
While
because
he
he can't
cries.
find his glasses.
It's awful.
I think I got a storm coming in here. That's what's going on.
Well, quick. We still
Yeah.
got questions to do.
Well, then let's do it.
Oh.
Oh, I meant to. Yeah, I said I didn't have any paper for Rocker. I apologize, but I'm gonna make a sound effect with my mouth.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Oh, and it hit the camera. What a shot.
Got him.
All right, we do have some games coming out this week. Thursday we have Tell Me Why on the Xbox. That's a game by Don't Nod. I might check that out. Interesting.
Is that the one about the twins and one of them is transgendered?
Yeah, and they're like
Okay.
they're thinking back on their past, and
Right. And their mom did some crazy crap to them.
yeah, I think they're like reliving it, so you're seeing the perspective of both of them and how they remember it or something. It
Right.
looks interesting to say the least, and I'm into these games or these type of games.
Yeah, the story-driven.
Especially from Don't Nod. They've done some good stuff. But you also have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered coming out on the PlayStation. Control AWE DLC. DLC 2. Oh, my bad.
That's the second. Yeah, the second edition of the DLC. So if you paid for all the DLC, you can actually play the whole game now. But if you want to play it on your next-gen system, you got to buy the deluxe version.
Still the worst possible. Just, ugh, God. Makes me so
Yeah,
mad.
I actually saw what game was it? There was a clip. I don't know, one of the other big AAA games. Oh, Avengers is going to be free upgrade. PS5 and Xbox.
Good.
So-
Good. It's a good PR decision right now.
Right. Absolutely. Especially
Um,
for like a games of service like that.
Right. And then, all right, so Friday we do have some heavy hitters. We've got Madden coming out on all platforms. If you do have the
EA access.
EA access, you get that the day of the podcast. If you're hearing this on Tuesday, that's when you get that. We also have Wastelands 3, which is a game that I became way more hyped about when I went to PAX this year. Looking forward to that. And Project Cars 3 on the Xbox and PlayStation. And then also coming to Game Pass day and date, Hypnospace Outlaws. That one's for you, Rocker. Since we definitely did not write that in here. Well, no. Bear definitely did not write that in here. Sorry about that. Get all over him. All right, we do have new games coming to Game Pass. We have Spiritfarer Battletoads, which obviously just came out, new Super Lucky's Tale with improved controls and graphics, and Don't Starve, the Giant Edition. Leaving Game Pass, and obviously these games are 20% off. You have Gianna's Sisters Twisted Dreams, Metal Gear Solid HD, Creature in the Well, Metro Last Light Redux, Jackbox Party Pack 3, NBA 2K20, and sadly, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Take that garbage off there. It doesn't even work.
That's okay. You can still play the single player campaign without being connected to the internet, maybe? Question mark? Not sure.
That's true. I don't know. I don't think you can. No, because I remember when Xbox servers are down, you can't play anything.
You're kind of, yeah, okay.
Even if you have the disc, you're screwed.
Hopefully you can still play single player. But yeah, that's some decent stuff leaving there. I remember Creature in the Well we did for a Game Pass Roulette ages ago, and that was like an awesome little pinball style, like
dungeon crawler type deal.
Yeah, like you would attack with like pinball balls, I guess.
Yeah, that game was
real good description. And then Metro, NBA 2K20, and Red Dead. That's two newer games that are on their way out already. But hey, it is what it is. You can.
I think they did the same thing with GTA, right? They only kept it around for a month or two, and then.
Yeah, I would assume they just kind of buy the rights for them for X amount, and these bigger games are going to be a little more expensive, so they might not stay around as long. But I mean, a lot of good stuff in there still, obviously. But you probably have till the end of the month. I'm assuming that's when these usually leave. So you got another week if there's some. If you need to finish the end of Red Dead Redemption 2 or something like that, you do still have time.
If you want to play the single player, you got 80 hours to get in the next 7 days.
Hey, it's possible. I promise you, people, it's possible.
Garbage Monster can do it.
You just gotta release the beast. All right, yeah, that's everything going on with that stuff. This is a mailbag episode, though. So next up, let's get into the mailbag. And I unfortunately do not have a sound for this right now. It's in the works,
got
folks.
Mail.
All right, mailbag time. So this first question comes in. Actually, the first two questions come in from Soccer Greg. It's kind of two-parted, I would say. So here we go. What game do you play that you feel like if you suggest it to a friend, you feel that you have to Sherpa them or else they won't have fun? Mine is League of Legends, followed by Path of Exile. I believe League and MOBAs in general are extremely difficult to understand until you have someone explaining to you what to do and why you were buying what you were buying. Path is just an overwhelming-looking game until you start to play it more and more. Then it becomes easier to understand what you're looking for. Okay, so for me, I think Destiny is a good choice, and that's actually what Rocker said in chat. I do think that's a good option because just being plopped in there as a new player, it's a lot. It's overwhelming, especially like most games with service games are, because they're evolving slowly over time. You're adding tons of systems over time. And if you hop in there, you could easily just get overwhelmed, discouraged, and not know what to do. The example for me, though, or the game that I was going to pick was DayZ for me, because obviously that exactly. So unless you have somebody to walk you through, like Moose, you kind of tried playing with us, and it still wasn't for you, obviously, in the end.
Well, yeah, because you killed me.
I still have a clip of that somewhere. I gotta upload that. But DayZ is totally the type of game where the learning curve is super steep.
Right.
And unless you're Googling a bunch of guides or you have a Sherpa, getting over what I call the hunger hump in that game, you're not going to be able to get past that. And if you don't get past being able to get out in the wilderness and actually get out of like the beach towns and whatnot, that game's not fun. Like the good part of that game is when you start running into real players who are geared up, who are making bases. It's all like the stuff that you're doing after spending countless hours in it. As a player just starting off, if you're by yourself, it's kind of, again, overwhelming, but in a different way. Like, there's not a ton of content. It's just a lot to learn because it's a survival game, I think.
Sure.
But for me, that was kind of like I would try selling the game to people, and it's kind of tough to explain they need to be in there with you, and you need to be holding their hand, showing them what to do. Otherwise, it is a pain for new players. So that's my game. But I also think Destiny is a solid answer there.
Sure. So the game that I think I've done the most hand holding on is probably Sea of Thieves
Okay,
because
teaching people that.
yeah, there's really no like you can't watch tips and tricks videos. You can't you the only way to learn how to play that game is to put hours into it.
Yeah,
As far
especially
as the sailing goes, the fishing
yeah.
goes, the quests, when to engage, when to avoid people, all that stuff. And if you're playing by yourself, it looks very unassuming. It looks like a fun little game that kids could play,
The
but
cute little graphics,
yeah, and you'll get your I don't know what else to
stuff
say, but you'll
pushed
get
in.
your yeah, you'll get your stuff pushed in real quick, and that's not a very fun experience for anybody.
Yeah, and also I think
So
the Sea of Thieves and DayZ are kind of the same, where there's no type of tutorial at the
right,
beginning. Like in
yeah.
Sea of Thieves, you spawn in a tavern, and you're like,
I think
what?
there is like a little bit of a tutorial now.
They okay, so I was to say they might have added that. I know that it's
Right.
also I think Destiny has like a new light guide now where
Mm.
it kind of gives you some like intro stuff or whatever. But like when I first hopped into Sea of Thieves, you kind of just got in there and you're like, okay, I can talk to the bartender and she'll just like fill up my grog.
Right.
What do I do? So you just kind of had to wander around till you found somebody that you could actually talk to, and it's like, oh, pick up this quest, and then you kind of just slowly learn it. But
Yeah,
yeah, those are all good options, though. I think
I think so. And then any of those stupid RPG sports games where you got to collect cards and make teams, and you need a guide for that,
all those
regardless.
ultimate teams. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's where you got people making livings with their weekly YouTube content.
Yeah,
It's just like,
absolutely.
this is what you need to do this week, and this is how you do it.
Yep.
Fun. Um, so this next question is also from Soccer Greg. It's kind of the opposite of this. So he says, "What game do you feel like you would have enjoyed if you had a Sherpa, but because you didn't, it made you dislike it to a point, so you don't want to try it again?" Mine is Destiny. I like loot and shoot style games and puzzles in general, but just didn't seem to find the fun in Destiny. Yeah. So obviously this works both ways for Greg. He was on the wrong end of Destiny,
Right.
where he probably got in. And Destiny is also a game where if you're not playing with people, the solo experience to me in Destiny not that great. Like you can go through the story campaigns and stuff if you want, and
Sure.
take what you will from that. But any of the like best content in the game, you need to be partied up with friends. Even if you're just playing like PvP, that's more fun. Having a good team, a team that's
Right.
communicating, all that kind of stuff. And it's funny because Soccer Greg and Shopa are actually really good friends. So when Shopa and I were super into Destiny for a while, every time we would hop on, I would see Greg playing something, and then he'd be like, "Shopa, why don't you just get Greg to play?" And he just at a point was just like, "No, I'm not doing it. I tried it. It's not for me." But I don't know. I think if
I think you tried that with Megan too, right?
yeah, because Meg was playing a bunch of games at the time. I was like, why don't you play this game? We're all playing it. Like, you collect things and level up and yada yada yada. And she's like, nah, bro.
I think she actually spent money on it and played it with us one night, and she's like, "This game's stupid."
Yep. And I was like, okay, I'll refund this one. I'm sorry. My apologies. Okay, but for me, this game would be Diablo 3, I think. That was the first one that popped up for me. It's a game that I've tried getting into multiple times. Never with a friend, though. Never with a Sherpa either. So that could be a big problem. But I would maybe get like an hour or two into it each way and kind of just feel like I was aimlessly hacking and slashing things.
Right.
But I know that there's like a top level of difficulty that you're playing in where you have to be precise and you like your gear has to be the right gear to. It's like any of those kind of loot and shoot games where obviously there's going to be the perfect build to do different things, and I could never get into it. And I don't know if it's because I didn't have somebody showing me the way, but that's kind of what it felt like to me. And I never tried playing it with people, so there's also that.
I can agree with you there. I like every time I tried to play Diablo, I've done it 2 or 3 times. Also, I just felt like, why am I doing this? What is my purpose? What is my point? I just feel like I'm running around and killing stuff, but you know,
But yeah, unless you have somebody there saying like, oh, well, at the very end of this, there's a raid that we can like do, or
Right.
like there's
Yeah.
something, or there's this awesome legendary bow that you can get, and it's gonna make the game way more fun, and like that kind of stuff. But unless you have somebody there showing you the way, it's kind of, I don't know.
right? Yeah. So for me, I got caught up in the hype a couple months back on a little PC game called Escape from Tarkov.
Hey, Escape from Tarkov. I played that once or twice.
That game is hard as balls.
Literally just once or twice. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I gave them $40 and played it about twice. One time I played with all the X1 bros, including like McSpicy and David and all those guys, and they gave me a bunch of cool stuff. And then I died, and they lost all their cool stuff. And
Hey,
I think
thanks for
that's
the
the last
cool
time I played.
stuff. I left it in
Yeah,
the ditch over there under my dead body.
yeah. Ronan's like, I was there. It was funny.
Yeah, I mean Tarkov's another one where I mean luckily I went in with Shopa to that one, so like, I at least had like a partner,
Yeah,
but we were both brand new to it, so I spent a decent amount of time googling like beginner tips for Tarkov
right.
and
You can
stuff like
just there's
that.
like thousands of spreadsheets of different ammo types on the internet for this game.
Right, and it's like you can't go try a bunch of different maps. You have to pick one, and then you have to learn every square inch of it,
Right.
so you can A, meet up with your friends. At least that's how it used to be. I have no idea what it is now.
Yeah.
And like B, know where the exits are, because
Yeah.
that's two huge things in that game. If you're trying to play with your friend and be successful, you need to know the map so you can find your friends. And then once you find your friends, and maybe in the off chance you get some loot, that you actually know how to exit, where to exit,
Yeah.
and all
And
that.
there's people in that game that, know where every supply cache, every hidden cache,
Yeah.
and then there's just me running around full, not crouched down, just loud feet.
And yeah, sound is so crucial in that game.
Yeah, and they're like, "Why are you walking? You have to crawl everywhere in this game." I was like, "Well,
Someone's behind us. Someone's behind us. Nope, it's just Moose walking. He's not
It's
crouching.
Moose. We're over here, Miss. We're
Dude,
over here, Miss."
the first time I hopped into that game, seeing like you could hit crouch and then you could scroll the wheel to go to like 10 different like variations of crouch, and they would just get like quieter and quieter, and the
Right.
bottom one was like dead silent, but your guy moved at like a quarter of a mile an hour. Like,
Literally a snail trail behind you.
yeah, I think that's a good one though. I think definitely a ton to learn in that game.
Yeah.
Seems like a game that you're just constantly going to be learning something new as well. So,
Or you just give them your money and then just don't ever touch it again.
or that.
I think that's why I'm standing on that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would take controller support for me to get into it. Because when you're trying to play a hard game right off the bat, and then you also have to use a mouse,
Mhm.
which I'm still not good at, it's just kind of bleh. Not
But
great.
there's so many different like hotkeys and assignments and things on your keyboard that I don't think you can fit them all on a controller.
Yeah, you'd have to do some
Secondary keys.
some
and all
like LB, and
that.
then
Right. Yeah.
I can't even think of what, like a dial, a radial thing.
Right.
Words, not me today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next question comes in from Sweeney. Is there a movie that may not be a great movie that you think would make a great video game? Huh. When I got my answers, I read this differently.
Uh-oh.
Reason for this is I watched Starship Troopers last night. I love it, but it's so bad and cheesy. But watching it, I was thinking this would make a really top AAA open world Mass Effect like game.
I don't know. Any movie with boobs in it's all right with me.
That I mean, that's tough to
Sorry,
disagree.
that was
I
a
guess
12-year-old moose speaking there.
It's okay. I didn't read the whole "it might not be a great movie" part, because
Gotcha.
my answers were all like, "These are good movies." Whoops. But I had a couple. Inglorious Bastards, I think would be a ton of fun, but I also do realize that we have Wolfenstein, and that's kind of like a
Similar, yeah.
chase down and kill the Nazis thing, but this
Mhm.
could be more of a team game with like different well fleshed out characters, like the Bear Jew. Like there's a ton of really good characters in that movie, and I think you could do something with that storyline and maybe have a bunch of different playable characters. I don't know. Seems like it could be fun, but that's also not a bad movie in my opinion. So
Sure.
not a great answer. And then kind of to go along with playing multiple characters, and I know we're getting a Marvel game already, but like Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite Marvel movies, like by
Yeah.
far. And I think being able to play as like Groot and Rocket and Gamora and Star-Lord, Drax, all the key players there. But you're kind of getting that in this Marvel game now. But having a big RPG style game with them, with like leveling up and stuff, I think could be pretty awesome. much like
Sure.
Marvel Avengers. I'm sure we'll get Guardians of the Galaxy DLC at some point, right?
Yeah, you've got to. You'd think they've got, just a vault of potential money sitting there.
Yeah, Rocker said, let me introduce you to Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series. Yes, I know that's a thing. That's not the type of Guardians game I wanted, though, okay? I'm talking like Mass Effect style Guardians of the Galaxy, but with multiple players and like that kind of stuff. Multiple playable characters. That's what I mean.
All right. So I got my answer.
All right, what is it?
This whole franchise of movies is terrible, but the video game could be pretty good. I'm gonna go with Star Wars.
Guy thinks he's a real comedian. Just hilarious out here. You already got a Star Wars game, bro, and it was great.
Some of them were. I don't know, dude. Like, I'm trying to think of bad movies.
Yeah, that's where I kind of got stuck. It was, well, obviously, I think I just chose to read the question wrong. Made it much easier.
How about Air Force One? And you just get to be Harris. No, because that's a good movie. It's not a bad
Well, that's
movie.
what I mean. Like, I'm trying to think of bad movies. Like, I don't want to play Don't Mess with the Zohan, the video game.
No, you
That
don't.
doesn't sound great.
How about Formula 51? And you can just travel around as Samuel Jackson with a golf bag, beating the crap out of people with golf clubs. Looking for your elusive pills.
Okay. Speaking of Sam Jackson, what about like Snakes on a Plane?
Yeah, there you go.
That
Terrible
movie was pretty bad.
That would be. But what would you do in the game?
Dude, I
Freak
don't.
out?
It'd be a really, really awful VR game, but it would work because there's snakes coming at you from all different directions in VR.
That sounds like a spooky one.
It sounds like it's boring you to death.
How about the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? You've got to survive your way through the factory to the end.
I think the longer that we think about this question, the worse the answers are going to get, so we should move on.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Star Wars.
You're a horrible person. All right. Next question comes in from Cabo. What game or series do you think would have benefited if they had the option of the good or evil route? I'm currently playing The Division 2, and I was thinking how it would have been cool to choose the option to go against the Division. Open up a new set of missions and a different perspective on the whole virus and what's going on in the world. In that world. That's a
cool.
good answer. So,
Right.
Are there any games that you can think of where you wish they would introduce like that type of morality system, like the Paragon Renegade system, if you will?
Right. I want Cyberpunk to be that way.
I would assume Cyberpunk will be 100% that way.
Right. To where you can choose whether or not to follow the mission or completely
Yeah, for sure.
screw things up, and there's this storyline that pans out either way.
I think a game like I'm just gonna stick with superheroes all day long, I guess.
Sure.
But a game like Spider-Man, where you are a designated hero, or like in the lore and all of the previous works of Spider-Man, you're a good guy. Like, what happens if you got introduced to an option where you could go work with Doc
Kingpin.
Ock or something, or Kingpin, and like
Yeah.
actually work for them and be like, I don't know. It could be interesting. I'm not sure.
I think that like anybody with that much power though would be
Has
it
that
would
much
be
responsibility.
OP
Great
to
responsibility.
be a bad guy. There'd be nothing that would be able to stop them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not true. Every superhero has their kryptonite, right?
What's Spider-Man's?
I don't know. A well-placed sniper shot from a mile away. He's got Spidey senses.
Nah, bro, he's
you know?
got Spidey sense.
Son
Come
of-
on, dude.
Um,
His personal connections.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen him. Yeah, you need some type of scenario where Mary Jane. It's like you have to trade her life for his life. That's how you're gonna get him. You're gonna get him through his heart. I think that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only way you take down Spider-Man.
Most definitely.
So fair point. But
Maybe Mary Jane is the bad guy. That's how he could go rogue.
yeah, sure, why not?
Love makes you do some stupid crap.
Amen. All right, you good?
I guess, yeah. Those were not good answers. I'll do better next time.
That Didn't like. Yeah, you said Star Wars is a
No,
terrible.
that was a good answer. I was talking about the last question.
Yeah. Jeez, you're just the worst.
My wife's gonna divorce me after this episode.
Good. I'm gonna send it to her right on the Facebook. Like, hey Megan,
Perfect.
look at this. Boop boop. I'm just gonna send a clip. It's just a clip. It's a 15-second segment of you being
Me. She knows who she got.
you being you. All right. Thank you, everybody who sent in questions. If you want to get in on next month's mailbag, which is always the last episode of the month, hit us up on Twitter at CAG Podcast, or if you're in Discord, we have a monthly mailbag section where you can post your questions there, and we will get to them next month. So there's that. All right. Hey, let's we did a podcast, so let's plug it up and get out of here, huh?
Am I still allowed to tell jokes at the end?
I don't know. I would check to see if the VOD for episode 117 is still on Twitch. If it's still there, I think you're good. If it was deleted, we might need you to take a week off.
Well, I'm just going to assume it's still there.
Okay, good. Streamerlinks.com/CAG podcast is going to have the links to all the things below, so go check that out and find us in all those places. There we have links for Discord. That's where we all hang out every day, chat, whatnot. Apple Podcasts, if you go over there, make sure to rate us, leave comments, all the fun stuff that you do on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to support the show with your hard-earned money or your Amazon Prime subscription, you can head to patreon.com/CAG podcast or twitch.tv/crossatlanticgaming. If you're subbed in either of those places, you get entered into our monthly drawing, and that episode is still 2 episodes out, so you still have some time to get in on that. As always, we do want to shout out our top tier contributors, though. That's the man, Chaotic. Thank you, Chaotic.
Thanks, buddy.
On the social medias, that's Instagram and Twitter, we are at CAG Podcast. And if you need to reach out via email for anything, cagpodcast@gmail.com. I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Moose, how about you?
Moosenstein 8314 everywhere.
And Chocolate Bear, how about you?
Chocolate Bear is not here.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
Later.
Goodbye. What do you call someone with no body and no nose?
What?
Nobody knows.
Ah, good one. What do you bring to a lawyer barbecue?
I don't know.
Just ice.
Yep. What is the least spoken language in the world?
What?
Sign language.
Nobody throws a barbecue as good as me.
Oh,
My
boy.
personal record's 28 feet. All this barbecue talk reminds me of Fred. His motto was low and slow. Nope, he wasn't into barbecue. Unfortunately, he was a pilot.
That's not great. All right.
That's all I got.
That's funny.
No Hitler jokes this week. Sorry, guys.
I just cut that out. I think you can say his name. I think that's fine. I think
Yeah, he's a historical figure.
it's history.
Right.
It's a history
It happened.
podcast. This was real life. That was weird.
Not careful, we're bound to repeat ourselves. Something like that.
Great. Well, hey, Twitch chat, Ronan, Rocker, Danbod.
Appreciate yous.
If anyone else showed up, I don't remember you. I still love you though.
Yep.
Shine, he was there earlier, right?
Yep, Shine was there. Until it
He
got
left.
glitchy on him.
Well, maybe our stream will be better next week when Chocolate's here.
Probably worse though.
Oh, poor
I'm out.
chocolate. Rest in peace.
See you
All
guys.
right. See you guys later.